Hey, this is Nikki Bell. Let's go. So I had an appointment. I went on a walk and was trying to get some feelers out on this thing that I'm doing, a new venture that I'm doing. And you all know that I'm a global strategic advisor to investors, and I work with innovation and innovators. And so I was just trying to see, like, even if it's a small business, if it's, medium-sized business or a big business or a corporation, like who's incorporating AI at the very least? We know that AI is a tool, but who's doing that? And also AI is part of like innovation. Sometimes when you add AI to like workflow, like you'll use SaaS or add AI to it, personally, I don't feel like that's like necessarily innovation, but it is using the tool, this new tool that we have. It's kind of not new, which is AI, to streamline the process, to bring the systems together. Sometimes people have large databases that they use, and then it's like, okay, I've got a file over here, I got a file over there, but if I use AI to centralize it, then what's going to happen? So I walked into a building, just, like boots on the ground, walked into a building. It's that orange looking whatever building over there. And I walked into a building and I was just like knocking on doors, and finally someone answered. I won't say their company. And I started this conversation with her, and she's like, well, we don't use AI because we're already a third party. But does that really matter if you're already a third party? Like, AI is just meant to do so much more than what humans can do. And you would still need a human there. I'm not saying delete the human, but the human aspect of it. And so I was telling her what I was up to. And one of the companies that I thought was cool dealt with environmental stuff. It was like a tech company. And she's like, okay, they moved, to the suburb, and they're in a different area of the city. But I just thought it was really fascinating. She's like, we don't have a need for AI. But how do you know that you don't have a need for AI if you don't use it or know what it really is? Like, is everyone just going off a theory and what they think it might be? I just found that really, really, interesting. When we kind of, when we kind of like dismiss it, right, without really knowing what it entails. And so on the local level, I'm just curious, like I don't care who it is, if I walked into any of these buildings, who is using, any of these buildings, who is using AI for whatever reason, okay? Maybe people think like AI is like some robot, or maybe people think like AI is like, compares to like whatever Elon Musk does. Maybe AI is just too problematic. Maybe AI spits out too much information. So when you're prompting, you have to know, okay, how do I prompt? What should I prompt the AI to do? But you have to be able to get to that point. And I feel like the person that I talked to, who was very sweet, by the way, who shall remain anonymous, had no idea, and she just thought it was really cool. Like, we were laughing and joking, and she thought it was really cool that I'm trying to get feeders out onto who's using AI locally, like here in Sacramento. So if of a company that's willing to talk to me, because this is boots on the ground. This is like people who are actually, or companies that are actually operational, and they're really implementing not just AI, but any type of innovation. So when you talk about like biotech or some of these other industries, manufacturing is going to use it a different way. Industrial is going to use it a different way, right? Healthcare management is going to use it a different way, right? So I just think it's fascinating. Now, there are some, like if you call your doctor's office, there are some that have, like the AI agents, where you have to go through like 12 prompts before you get to a human, and that is really annoying. That is a form of AI, okay? It is a form of AI. They're using an AI agent to answer the calls and then to streamline that process, to the different departments or whatever. You have your appointment setting, you have are you a physician, are you a patient type of thing. But now adding the AI on the front end of that is actually more cumbersome. It's actually more difficult for the patient or anyone calling to get through, because AI is like a 5-minute long thing when it should only take a minute for someone to pick up the phone. Then there's the other part where there's some of these companies that are, I don't know what you would call it, but you can no longer like call them, right? You can't call them. They have like an answering service, go straight to messaging. You don't even know if you're calling the right company because it's so like automated or automatic. So there's just like a number of things going on, but I just thought I would share that with all of you. But this is fascinating. So, all right, thank you. This is Nikki Bell. Let's go.